I've never seen a movie completely transform. I learned a great lesson about the power of music and sound effects and sound on that picture. I know it's true of every picture, but in this film, it made a quantum leap. There's no way to describe the difference between... In fact, if you want to explain it to yourself, try watching the movie one time with the sound off. And later on, by the way, when I watched this picture with audiences, and I watched it many, many times, I used to see young people at the most horrific times in the film watch the screen, but clamp their hands over their ears. And I never understood that. I asked my son about that one day. He said, that's what we all do, he said, because the sound is too scary.
When the film was finished, no one expected what happened next.
The first theatrical engagement of Halloween was in Kansas City, in 4 theaters, and we had a very modest campaign. I remember getting the first phone call on Friday night, about midnight, and finding out that we'd done $200 a theater. And I went to bed that night thinking, well, it'll get distributed, we'll do all right. The next night, we'd gone to $800 a theater. The following night, we'd gone to $1,600 a theater. And by the end of the week, we were doing $1,500 to $2,000 a theater. I've never seen word of mouth spread like it did in Kansas City. It was the most exhilarating experience.
Everybody was surprised by its success. And it didn't succeed right away. It was something that built over, 3 or 4 months. And even then, it wasn't like I walked down the street and people were going, hey, Laurie Strode, all right. I mean, again, 1978, it certainly did very, very well. And it made, a lot of other people a lot of money. And for me, it gave me a movie career.
Most pictures, they open and they go down. In this picture, it was just the opposite. It opened and went up.
There were 2 exhibitors in Boston that I used to sell pictures to, and they had made some money on Halloween. They called me up and they asked me, Irwin, how did you make the picture? How much did it cost? How do you do it? What do you do? The next thing I know, they hired a young filmmaker, and they took the picture and practically shot it frame for frame. Another man came along and hired Jamie Lee Curtis and made a picture called Terror Train, which just about duplicated Halloween on a train. And so it went. Finally, I turned to my partners and I said, this is nuts. We've got to make another Halloween.
The first time I saw the film with an audience, it was, I think it's called the Egyptian Theaters in Hollywood, the kind of seedy part of Hollywood, Hollywood and Vine. It wasn't fixed up then. And I was with Dennis and sitting in like 3rd or 4th row and just wanted to see it with a regular kind of audience. And there was this really big guy sitting behind me. And when that scene came up where I say, see anything you like this, the guy behind me goes, hot damn, you bet your ass I do.
One person I'll never forget, in Boston, we screened the film one time, and it was a large audience, and by the 4th resurrection, somebody yelled out, you dumb bitch, you deserve to die.
I think the simplicity of the story and the way it was told is what made the movie really unique.
How many 20-year-old pictures do you have that keep their popularity? Halloween is the Gone with the Wind of the horror movies.
The last shot of the film, looking down at the empty grass there, and then a little montage of all the places we've been. Evil never dies. You can't kill it.
He has no morality. You don't know where it's coming from. It's your deepest, darkest fear.
Sadly, Michael Myers passed away this week, the real Michael Myers. He was the distributor in London who had distributed Assault on Precinct 13.
He was very sweet and dear, and he was confused. He said, what do you see about my personality? Why did you do this? But I told him that it was a tribute, because he basically started my career.
He may be the only mass murderer who's on a first-name basis with movie audiences around the world.
I couldn't believe the fans that are really so addicted to these Halloweens. They know so much about it, more than I do, as far as details and the family relationship in the story and the cast and the costumes, and they want to know who is playing Michael Myers, the one next.
I get letters from people that that what they say is, Mr. Castle, we love your work, we love your direction on The Last Starfighter. Boy, Major Payne was really funny. Can you sign this picture of the shape, please?
I get at least 4 or 5 letters a week, and Carrie, Halloween, Stripes, Rock and Roll High School, but they always talk about Halloween.
I wear my Halloween pin with great pride. You know, I tried very hard through 22 now years of making movies to always hold up Halloween and say, you know, A, it was the best experience I ever had. It was by far, up until True Lies, the best part I ever had. You know, I tried to point out the irony that in those exploitation movies, I was intelligent, forthright, fought back against adversity, and was the lead in those movies for that role.
Halloween redefined the horror film and opened the doors for 2 decades worth of imitators. But none have had the impact or the nail-biting effectiveness of Michael Myers, because real terror stands the test of time.
You know, in every script they want to kill him, they want to destroy him. I tell them, wait a minute, Michael Myers, I love this guy.
Because I was on some tour for something, and they showed it to a bunch of college kids. I've never heard anything like it. The place was going nuts. It was ape shit. And I'm outside the door thinking, this is fantastic. How great. It made it all worthwhile. That was what they were supposed to do, scream their lungs out.